Well, government has assured SAA rescue practitioners that it will provide the necessary funding to the state-owned airline. This comes as practitioners sought to give creditors two options of a wind-down or liquidation. Heidi Giokos following the story for us. She joins us now. So Heidi, of course, unions are not happy. Let's start with that. Tell us why.
Exactly. Unions, Shahan, are saying that they want clear answers from government in terms of where the funding is actually going to come from when it comes to how the voluntary severance packages are going to be paid for. Unions, NUMSA and SACA, are saying that they are giving government 7 days to respond to this. They are saying that the business rescue process has been going on for far too long, and workers have been subjected to the delaying tactic and games. This is, of course, what NUMSA and SACA are saying, and they want clear answers. They are saying if the airline does go into liquidation, they are speaking about SAA and SA Express, they will be taking government, specifically the business rescue practitioners and the Department of Public Enterprises, to the High Court. Let's listen to what NUMSA's Pakamile had to say.
They've been telling us for many weeks now, in fact, in our most recent engagement with the Director General, he was trying to placate us, telling us we shouldn't worry, the funding is coming. But here we are, Heidi. It's the day after another deadline, and there's still no money. And to be frank, these are just empty words as far as we're concerned. Our members can't eat those words. They can't pay their school fees with those words. What we need is concrete action. So, frankly, we're tired of words. We want action. And this is why NUMSA and SACA are not just demonstrating here during the creditors' meeting. We have also served official notification through our attorneys to the Office of the Presidency, as well as to Parliament and the DPE and Treasury, to remind them that in terms of the law, you cannot just wake up and liquidate this airline.
So basically, government came out saying, hold your horses, we have a plan, the money's coming.
Exactly. This is something they've been saying for months now, Shahan. So there's one thing to commit to funding and to say, we're going to get the funding, but it's a very different thing to actually have the 10 billion rand in the bank to make sure that they pay for this. So we understand that the business rescue practitioners had a creditors meeting today with all affected parties and stakeholders to come to an understanding about what the options are, given the fact that they've missed out on so many deadlines. The VSPs have not been able to be paid on time, and the business rescue practitioners say they've chosen not to wind down the airline or liquidate the airline, especially because government has said the same thing. But they are saying that they need further clarity and understanding. They actually need a plan to show where the money is going to come from, when it will be paid, and how it will be paid. The business rescue practitioners say this is key for next week to determine whether or not the business rescue plan can be implemented. Let's listen to the business rescue practitioner.
It is important at this point to highlight that we have since received a further communication from government with the support of the National Treasury that indicate that there is a very clear cabinet commitment to provide funding to SAA to the tune of 10.5 billion. The letter also articulates that the mechanisms and the timelines are yet to be finalized, and it is for this reason that we believe this provides us with a third and perhaps more important option, which is option A, that the company will have the funding from government that will enable it to restart its operations, and that will also enable it to implement the business rescue plan. It is important that, given the fact that we've only received the letter this morning, that we engage with government in detail.
But Comair has some positive news on this front.
Exactly, definitely some positive news given the fact that we are in the middle of a pandemic and the aviation sector has been decimated. We understand that today the majority of creditors and shareholders voted to adopt the Comair Business Rescue Plan. A number of former Comair board members and executives will invest fresh equity of 500 million rand in a return for a 99% shareholding. Additional funding of 1.4 billion rand is required from lenders. The workforce of Comair will, however, be reduced by 400 employees. The airline will return to service from December with a 7-month ramp-up period until June next year. If all goes according to plan, the business rescue process will be concluded by the end of March next year.